there, this is Kristie with AG Takes Over. I'm glad you could join. Today is another dollhouse video or a dollhouse update, but this one is a lesser featured dollhouse on my channel because it belongs exclusively to my 4.5-year-old. And so once upon a time, our neighborhood was having a community yard sale, and we came across a house selling a bunch of American Girl stuff, including a 3-story dollhouse. And we took out one story and put it in the basement, but the other 2 stories became my daughter's dollhouse. And the the floors that you're seeing here, the top one was always the top one. The bottom one was the second story, and then there was another first story. We gave her the second story because she was so tiny, she would climb in it all the time, and we wanted her to have something soft to sit on. And the top story didn't have any flooring, so that is actual flooring that was left over from when they built our house, and it wasn't painted, so I just painted it white to match everything else. And here are a few pictures of it. So it's bare bones when it first had been finished by me, meaning added the paint and the flooring. And then here's another picture. Not much is different. You'll see furniture gets switched around. I trade out the Our Generation fireplace and the American Girl TV with her. So here you can see she's got the TV. Whichever one she has in her room, I have the opposite in the upstairs doll room. Basically, she gets them for 2 seasons and I get them for 2 seasons. And then here is a Christmas time picture. Yeah, so you get the picture. This one, like I said, doesn't feature too frequently because it's still kind of plain and it's hers, and so it's usually a mess. And let me show you what it looks like now. It'll be a sound quality difference, but you can hear my little one a little bit in the background. Do you think we're going to keep 2 kitchens in there when we remodel? Or do you think we're going to go down to 1 kitchen set?
One.
Do you think you'll go with the red or the blue? The red will match more, but you can pick whichever one you want. Blue? Okay. It's kind of a mess right now, isn't it? So not a lot has changed with the dollhouse. Mostly just more clutter and a few more accessories. But she plays with this all the time, like every day. And then the other day she said something about, well, she was asking for a new toy. And I said, well, where would we put it? And she said, well, we could put the dollhouse in the storage downstairs. My wife and I just started laughing. We were like, girl, you play with this dollhouse every single day. And she said, yeah, but it doesn't look very beautiful. Well, part of that is the clutter, right? But the other part was fair. It doesn't have the same level of decorations that the upstairs dollhouse has. And the reason is when we got it for her, she wasn't really at a point where she could express her stylistic preferences. So she's older now, she's almost 5. And yikes, where did the time go? And I said, you know what? How about we go to the Dollar Tree and we pick out some wallpaper for your dollhouse and we will give it a makeover? Because you're right, there isn't much going on the walls and it could use some color. It could use some extra fun. So she was so excited about that. So excited. So we went to the Dollar Tree, she and I, and she picked out this color for the kitchen. I was just showing her every single pattern, every single color. They had gotten a lot more than they had before. And my rule going in was there's no to this. Like this is her dollhouse. So she picked this for the kitchen. I was like, all right. And then I said, what about for the top part? Maybe we'll just do the back wall. And she went with this one, which I was like, okay, definitely more like what I would have chosen. But again, this is not my dollhouse. So I was like, yep, showed it the same reaction. And then she picked this one, which I was kind of surprised and said that would be for the bedroom. So, and then kids love stickers almost universally. And I wanted her to be able to put some stickers on because I knew I would be the one putting on the wallpaper. So, like stickers, it'll add a little pop of color and she will get to do it. And it just so happened that she picked these butterflies, and look how perfectly they tie together these 3 seemingly incohesive, otherwise incohesive papers. All right, so next I'm going to show you a little bit of the cleaning up process. We just wanted to empty it out and start with a clean slate, obviously. So it was good for our daughter going into it to know exactly what parts she would and wouldn't be helping with. She knew I was going to do the paper, but she was going to help me get everything out and then put everything back in and put the stickers on at the very end. So for anybody who has a dollhouse or is pondering creating one, I, from experience, can tell you I've worked with contact paper on rolls, wrapping paper where you spray adhesive to the back of it, and these contact paper sheets. And for ease of working with, I would hands down say these are the easiest to work with because the contact paper on rolls, it really depends on how thick it is, what quality it is. But these sheets tend to be a little thicker, so they don't fold on themselves. They're just less flimsy. I find them really easy to work with. Matching them up is not particularly challenging. I did have one spot in this kitchen room um, that ultimately, if I had gone back and bought another sheet, it wouldn't have been an issue, but I didn't. And I knew it was going to be covered. So there's in that back right corner on the bottom, there will be one tiny little section that doesn't match up. And I'm okay with that. She is totally okay with that. She's probably never going to know because there's always going to be kitchen furniture there. But yeah, you can see it's lining up really easily. And the only tool I'm using at all, well, there's a small pair of scissors. They didn't need to be small. Grace just said, "Is this okay?" And I said, "Yeah, if that's what you have handy, sure." But is a utility knife. That's it. Utility knife and a pair of scissors. And if you needed to, you could probably get by with just one of the two. So total, just as we're watching this, I would say I spent the $42 and to do the upgrade. The dollhouse itself was $60. Um, and 2 hours, maybe. Obviously, I had a helper in there sometimes. I don't think it definitely was under 3 hours, I know that much because they watched a movie, and, there was, like, a little bit of cartoon watching before that, and then they had a movie on in the background, and I said, "Yeah, that wouldn't have been 3 hours then." It's so much. Let me know. I think Julie's house almost like if Julie Albright, if I were giving her a whole house, I think she'd be at home in a kitchen with this pattern, at least with this much color. Okay, I skipped the last couple seconds, but it's fine. Um, you can see that one, the kiddo most definitely still fits in the dollhouse, and two, if you're looking for it in that bottom right hand corner, you can see the spot that doesn't match up. Don't stress about it. I promise you, we're not. And then the funniest crap happened. She decided she was going to be the hostess of the show, and this doesn't come from her seeing me film videos a lot because I usually film when she's asleep. It comes from the fact that she sends video messages to her family members from time to time, like birthday messages, or if she's missing her sister, or if she's out with one mama and not the other, she'll be like, "You should send a message to her." And so she's used to like looking at the camera and she always wants to watch it afterwards. So here's what she did immediately after I took this picture.
Look at the inside. Look at this. It's like plain.
It's plain. That one's plain. So what should I do with it?
My mama will put the wall. We'll put some paper walls on it.
Yeah.
But she already did this color the kids said.
That color? I already did that color. Yep.
Super excited for the butterfly things.
You're going to put the butterflies on there?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me do my last room first. And then you can put those in and it'll tie it all together. I thought it was cute anyway, but doesn't every parent think their kid is cute? All right, so she was a lot more interested, and I'm just blurring certain parts of the screen as she kept coming over and playing in the kitchen, and I'm chatting with her. Like, filming these things and sharing them with you is secondary to doing them and sharing the experiences with my family, right? So I didn't shoo her away or anything, but I just blurred whatever I needed to or cut the pieces that I needed to. Anyway, this was going on pretty easily. This one was a lot easier. I wasn't worried about lining it up. And I had bought less, just planning on doing the two side walls. And I was like, maybe I can do the back walls. But as you'll see, they don't end up getting done because I only bought enough for the two side walls. She has bunk beds that are going in the back, and I thought, "I really don't need to," you know, I'm trying to keep it affordable. I don't think that I need to do the back wall if she's gonna be putting beds that block it anyway. And that ended up being a good decision, I think. This one was a little harder because I didn't have the light going through, but I just kind of pressed and made creases so I would know where the windows were actually cut out. I mean, this is a fairly large dollhouse, and to be able to empty the entire thing out, wallpaper 3 rooms. I mean, only one of them was complete, but the other one had 2 walls and 1 wall. So basically, you could say wallpaper 2 rooms, um, and put everything back together in, like, somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, I don't think was bad at all. This was an afternoon well spent. The kiddo had already changed clothes. Okay, so here is the final look. It'll be like this for about I don't even wanna say. If you have children, you know. It's not gonna last. And then here's a little bit more in depth for each room. We put some of the leftover stickers on the inside of this My Life as record player. And she put some butterflies on the ceiling, which was fine, and on the walls. And I brought down this butterfly decoration or moth decoration from our dollhouse upstairs. And I also added that light, which I might put the link in the description. I love those lights, and I talk about them every time I do a bedroom or a doll room tour. She added a couple butterflies on top of the existing paper. There's a puck light that was already up there, but I did change the battery so it finally works again. And again, the blue on the kitchen set being in this room didn't make sense, but the butterflies pulled it together, I think. Here's our generation espresso machine on a thrifted little dresser there. Tonks made an appearance. I know all of the cat lovers will be happy to see her, even though she's, being a cat and showing her butthole. And then here's a little bit of a close up of the upstairs. Again, those butterflies were like the perfect sticker, and I did not even steer her in that direction. And there's Indigo on the left and Emma on the right. Indigo is a positively perfect, I think, doll. Yeah, positively perfect. And I don't know if you noticed, but the doors and the boxes on the TV set, I put the contact paper on there to match the room. Hopefully you saw that. I know that the voiceover is going to not match up. But anyway, here it is. Let me know what you think. This was a fun, relatively affordable, relatively quick project with a high payoff. We have one happy camper who got to pick the colors, get a glow up for her dollhouse, and be involved in the process. So it was a win. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you will join me again for my next video. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It's free. And if you tap the notification bell, you'll know when I post my next video, which is typically once or twice a week. Do comment below and I will be sure to respond to you. Take care.